My personal philosophy of teaching is quite multifaceted. I came to teaching later in my life, in my 40s, after having been a research scientist. I managed a computer database. I actually worked in a retail store for many years. But I stayed home with my 2 boys for 10 years. And working with them and their experiences in school really inspired me to become a teacher myself. Unfortunately, their motivation for literacy was not very strong. Both of them were labeled reluctant readers and reluctant writers, although their skill level really was quite good. So part of my philosophy of teaching is, as much as possible, to make literacy a motivating subject at school. Make them excited about them, make them want to do it. It's not so much what we have to do in the classroom, is what do we get to do today? If you can have that kind of a feeling yourself and have the children have that feeling as well, that's going to go a long way for the children to be interested in what you're saying and doing with them. One of the trickiest times for children is in grades 1 to 3, when they're going from the learning to read to the reading to learn stage. Some children sort of shut down. They think, I know how to do this. I don't have to improve my skills. And they don't understand always why you're pushing them for comprehension and understanding what they're reading, because they think, oh, I know how to read, I'll just get it. A lot of the children don't naturally have those strategies, and you really, really have to give them the framework when all the different kinds of writing and the different kinds of text that they're going to encounter. When I think about making lessons, one of the things I think about is, would my own children like to do that? And as if I'm a parent, if I walked in on the class and the children were doing this activity, would I think that that was interesting and a useful thing to do? For reading and writing, in my classroom we do a lot of games. We do a lot of songs, repetition in those kinds of ways that are done in a fun way. The other thing for writing in particular is I use things that I'm interested in. I like to do art. I love making things, and that makes it easy and fun for me, and it makes it easy and fun for the children as well. So when I do writing activities in particular, I will often have children make things. When you're talking about things, if the child has something in their hand, if they have actually made it themselves, the motivation to write about a story about it or an adventure that that character might have is much higher than if you just sort of said, write whatever you want, or if you're very specific about it. One way I get children to do nonfiction writing is procedural writing. And in procedural writing, you need to have a shared experience. And a shared experience, of course, is multi-level. And having the children involved in a group experience where let's say you're cooking something, cooking is great. Children love cooking. Also, if they've made a character, we make sock creatures in my class, we make pillows, we make puppets, we do all sorts of things. They need to think about, what materials did I need to do this? What did I do first? And I actually use those 4 words, first, next, then, and finally, to help give them a framework. And I remind them, I say, well, think about these things because you're going to be writing about it later. So that's how I get the children to really think about and write good quality procedural writing or nonfiction writing.